Stay clean as a whistle, you think you official, we know that you not. Hop on the mic and discuss every issue, might take a few shots. Kick back and relax, don't overreact, it's only your thoughts. Tell me is it facts, or maybe it's cat, we never gon' stop.
Facts to Cap, episode 46. We back, baby. You know,
Episode motherfucking 46.
Yeah, we in here.
Yeah, man. So, everybody feeling good?
Niggas tired.
Yeah, a little tired. We're gonna shake it off. You know what I'm saying? First off, I want to start off by saying rest in peace to Paul Mooney.
Rest in peace. Come
You
back later,
know
man.
what I'm saying?
It was Mooney.
I guess our generation probably know him best for being on Dave Chappelle, but you know, either a stand-up comedian.
He was writing
Writer.
Richard Pryor and them.
Yeah, that nigga was writing jokes back then. He's a ghostwriter, you know what I'm saying? So, rest in peace to him. He lived a long, fruitful life, 79. You know, hey man, when the Lord comes, knocking at your door, you gotta go, right?
R.I.P. man.
Every year, bro. I mean, every week seems like it's somebody else.
Yeah, but you know,
But that one right there.
79, that like, I just feel like that's like you lived a full life. You know, you didn't, you know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
just speaking as far as 2021.
yeah, definitely her. But you know what? He did everything. I'm sure he would say he did everything he wanted to do in life. So salute to that. You know. First, we're gonna start off today, man. The Joe Budden saga continues. He's been having a hell of a week. I'll tell you that. So y'all want to start off with Olivia Dope? Or
Last time we
Charlemagne, Brick to Silence, or Kevin Hart?
I guess Kevin Hart would be first. So that happened first.
Yeah.
Because when we last they was together, but we all felt the tension and energy wasn't right.
Wait, who's together?
Rory and Maul.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't even break up yet.
No, you talking about from last week?
That was last week?
No, last week we talked about their response.
Okay, my bad, I'm tripping. So it's only the response.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Just to recap, Brandon felt like Budden's business was correct. What he said.
it sounds...
He kind of changed it. just a little.
I think my stance was, I feel like Joe knows how to make things sound perfect, but I didn't know quite if I believed everything.
Well, he did an IG live after they had a response video.
Mhm.
And he basically was saying it's simple, you understand, get a calculator. But on his response on his show, he was like, he don't understand.
Yeah.
He's not an accountant.
Yeah.
So I was like, is it simple or is it not?
So-
Is it is or is it ain't?
So we get to Kevin Hart, who broke it down masterfully. I would say, I agreed with him. And he basically said that the problem is that Joe is a bad leader. He doesn't have good leadership. He said your friends come to you, they say, listen Joe, we don't know the business, what's up with the business, this, that, and the third. It's your job as a leader to get them to understand what's going on. He said, but instead, you want to be King Dingley. You want to be the only person up top when it takes a team to be up top. And we left it at that. So what are your thoughts about what he said?
I agree. Like, I just whenever it seems like, I just hope Kevin Hart realizes this is just a sign of like, you better make sure your shit's in order.
See,
you don't want to hear
He's
later.
been saying it.
He's coming from the perspective of Joe Budden has talked about his business. So that's why he felt the need
I was
to say
defending stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
But just don't be on that leader and shit. And then 2 years from now, one of your homies come out and be like, well,
Well, see, this is why I thought he said it perfectly.
but I do agree. It's Joe Budden obviously not a good leader.
Yeah.
That's apparent.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he was right because, like, I just knew, first of all, that's why I said I don't care what you do, you don't fire nobody online. 'Cause you can't take that back. You fired him online, you seemed really defensive, and this is what I started thinking about it, because I thought, like, yes, everything he's saying business-wise is technically correct, but my thing is, if these are really your friends, I would find a way to sit us down and we would literally figure things out. Or just say, if you don't know, like he said later on, just say, hey, Roy Ma, I'm not really sure about everything, so let's sit down with whoever we need to sit down with and figure it out. Like,
But I did understand.
it's a lot of pride and ego.
I understood him saying when he got to the point saying, I can't give you everything, all the books, because that'll mess up his deal with Spotify. And I mean, that's where I was saying, like,
I kinda don't understand.
that shit, no,
But
but it
look-
makes sense in a business because that can be part of the contract.
But look, even
Don't
with that being said, right? Even with that being said, this is where Joe's leadership is poor. You let them know that. Don't get defensive when they ask for something. He seemed like he was getting real defensive every time. Even when you listen to the way that he talked, even when you look at this as a collective, when we about to talk about Charlamagne, Olivia Dope, all that. Everything boils down to Joe's ego. You could be right or wrong, but your ego is what is ruining relationships. His ego has ruined past relationships. So it is kind of like you just keep making the same mistake. You don't know how to maintain your business, but he knows how to do business, like create business. And
Yeah.
I think that's really what it came down to.
It's a bit of like narcissism to him. Like he doesn't really see fault until it's too late.
Facts. Like, he's the type of person, like, you can treat his friends like shit, and then when they actually did, you like, damn, I kind of was being mad. So, Olivia Dope, you know, she worked for, See the Thing Is, isn't that the name of that shit?
Yeah.
See the Thing Is, that's under Joe Budden's network. And she quit a few months back, and she ended up going back and forth with some of the people on the podcast, and she never really said what it was. Now people speculated, because I've heard of this before, but that she put up a post during all the havoc, and she put up a link, and it was basically kind of a video of her basically saying, like, Joe Slick sexually harassed her in the workplace. She broke it down. She told about the time cuts, when they cut stuff out, the things that were on there. She explained those. She shows Joe swiveling his hips. She's talking about Joe saying Joe is saying how he wanted to fuck her a couple of times during the podcast.
It's still alive.
In the pocket, like
During the podcast, he was basically saying, but they cut it out. And they were saying, like, oh, he wants to fuck, I want to fuck you. And saying that she's the only one that has sex appeal on the show. Talking about how she had her breast out, whatever it may be. So that came out. Joe came out and apologized, but he didn't try to defend it. I guess he said, like, yeah, I was wrong. Maybe we need to get, you know, some sensitivity training. And he said all the right things. What do you think about that?
I think that timing could be worse, but I don't watch that podcast,
Yeah.
so like other than maybe little clips here and there. But I think you gotta be careful in that workspace. You know, everybody don't take flirting but at the end of the day, you ain't supposed to be gyrating on your employees like that. Like you gotta treat it like a business.
especially you're the boss.
If you're the boss, if you don't got that kind of rapport, some people can joke like that, even though it's a joke. But
But I mean, right now I feel like
it's just
I'm glad he has the PR team that's behind him at this point. He's starting to hire the right people. I hope it ain't a little too late for it, but
You drop that Cash App, man. Ain't there no more.
Cash App dropped him.
that's official.
They wasn't there.
Niggas ain't seen him.
No more official than that. It was there in every
They started off every episode. The best app in the world.
Yeah, powered by.
So that was because once Olivia put out her thing.
We don't play with that sexual assault shit.
I think
Chill out, Deshaun Watson.
yeah, I think that
Hey, Deshaun Watson that did that shit. He paid for his.
Okay, so look,
I paid to assault you, harass you.
So look, I think that Olivia Dope. I think that Joe, along with, I don't even think that's just a sensitivity thing. Like you gotta be able to read the room. Like nigga, you know. I feel like you may have had certain moments where you didn't think like this was a big deal, but you uttering you want to fuck her, and at the beginning of the episode you're saying why don't y'all communicate? Everybody else communicate with you but her. So basically you don't really have a rapport with her. You don't have a relationship with her. So what makes you think that you could just say shit like that to somebody? We all know which girls you could say certain things to. But if you don't know and you can't read the room, like you're telling this girl how her breasts are out or whatever, and her first natural thing is to cover up her breasts. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta play the game smart. And I just don't think he was playing it smart. And I mean, she did it at the right time. I'm sure she probably gonna file some kind of lawsuit on his ass or something. That's what it seemed like.
But
So,
my thing is, why did Parks comment on that? What did he say?
He said he was in the
he
room
was in the room.
when it happened.
So he said like basically we all failed her. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
He engineered, he do the
I
sound.
wasn't trying to. That nigga just been doing a lot lately too. That shit's starting to irk me. Like, nigga, say what you really want to say, cause I ain't never heard you say shit. This the most.
He told Joe on the episode he was wrong. He said no, he was wrong. Like he was wrong. Like he held him accountable, but it just seemed we know
seemed
when
like he was playing a part.
yeah, we know when it's very sincere. It just I don't know, cause then he was yelling and doing another Joe shit 5 minutes later, calling everybody idiots, talking about the situation. It just is like.
I feel like Parks is like shit. Nigga, you ain't leaving me. I'm gonna ride this coattail, nigga. You
Well,
ain't
we've
going
already
nowhere.
established that Joe wants yes men around him, and that's part of what Kevin Hart is saying. Like, you don't want people. He doesn't want equals. He wants to be the king, and I can agree with that.
But I think what was that? Was it Ice or Ish? One of them said it best. Like, bro, it's all about how you say shit to people. You could have told them, like, when we go back to the books part.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I can't disclose that. Let the lawyer, if you want to fight it, hey, get your lawyers to fight it. I can't do that.
Essentially, the podcast broke up for nothing. That's really what it is at this point. The shit broke up over nothing. That's over something that could have been fixed. Which
Can Rory come back? Yes.
it looks like they about to do their own podcast.
I can see Rory if he wanted to. Like they can salvage it. Maul's like, nah.
I think that's a dub.
You talk to me crazy. He just look like one of them niggas that run off the type.
It's funny as last week we said we can see Ball.
Nah, I stood with this. The energy Maul had from when he came back it wasn't.
It was off.
It was all.
But I feel like they bringing up like how the shit they been through. That maybe they could salvage it, but he just seemed like that type of nigga. Like, hey, bro, you trying my character. I can't fuck with you no more.
I feel like him and Rory is just. I think relationship is always like that. They always gotta tell each other crazy, or at least maybe
they can do that.
And they can do that. I feel like even firing him, and maybe it won't be like on some like the same thing type shit. But I can see him as a guest coming back on there. Or man, my bad, I'm sorry.
Especially if they really do this, they've been teasing like a podcast or something, and it's like Rory and Maul, and it shows like the outline of their beards and everything. It's like real nice little creative thing. So,
Hey, but they shit look great.
I can't lie though, like when the Joe was saying I can't see a scenario where you take his side, like that's kind of crazy.
wait, he said what?
You know how I can never see a scenario where Maul will take Rory's side over him.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of like look at just the optics of it, like Maul and Rory doing the podcast now. And like, if I'm Joe Budden, like regardless of
that's why it's just two different stories for everything. He's looking at it like, but we had a long friendship. I look at it as like sometimes long friendships end. It is what it is. It sounded to me like Maul's over the friendship.
Yeah.
He's over the friendship, where Joe is slick hoping that they can reconcile some way somehow because he still cares for him.
I think they all care for each other,
Yeah.
but just hey, sometimes shit, you gotta.
It is what it is, man. I think if he never did that episode like that, things can always be fixed. But now it's kind of like just up to limbo.
That's over with.
So,
him and Charlotte.
which takes us to Brilliant Idiots. And you know, Charlamagne has been quiet the whole time for the past few months. And people have been speculating that maybe they came to an agreement that they're not supposed to talk or whatnot. But Charlamagne came and broke that silence, and he basically said it was never that he made that decision not to say anything, because he basically said that Joe is one way behind the scenes,
Calling a liar.
and he's theatric. He has theatrics on the thing. So he broke down the whole thing. He basically said, like, when all that was going on, Joe blamed him for a smear campaign. He said, but Joe was calling him behind the scenes, talking, asking about the critique that started where Charlamagne said, like, he doesn't negotiate well with his business. And he called him and asked him, wanted to discuss it. They discussed it peacefully. He even asked Charlamagne for advice on the business. Charlamagne said he'd give him advice, but then he gets online and he's talking about a smear campaign. And basically he said, read between the lines, which I already knew what he was talking about, which even Rory told Joe on the episode that what he was doing was corny, where he was talking about, I could go to South Carolina and interview the girl who basically accused him of rape. He said, you burn your bridges with me after that. Like, there's no coming back for that. I wish you the best. So he basically just called him out for that and said that, he just kind of was over it with Joe after that. And he just basically kind of reiterated the same, whatever it's called, the same thing that Kevin Hart said. They discussed that. So, what do we think Joe did that?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because this is one side. I'm sure Joe has his own version of that.
He said Joe recently texted good morning.
Yeah, and then he said he didn't respond because of that. He didn't talk to him. I mean, we don't know what was happening in their private conversations. That's Charlamagne's version of it.
Yeah.
But believe him or not, one thing I will say is, though, is like, it's easy to get offended when Joe brings that up, that sexual assault. And if I land my podcast, Roy like, chill, that's corny. But Charlamagne is the one person that always, even before Joe Budden podcast, or Darren it, was bringing up Joe Budden's physical abuse history. And always bringing it up.
Well, they talked about that.
That was the same
They talked about that on the Breakfast Club.
That's what, but it was still Charlamagne bringing
But
it up.
but when it happened, so look, the only thing I could vouch for Charlamagne for that, when it happened, Esther Baxter came on there first. On the Breakfast Club. So Joe wanted to come up, or his team, I think he said his team, because they talked about that in the past too. His team asked him to come up there. So it kind of
I'm not just talking about that one interview though.
Yeah.
Every time they would bring up Joe Budden, he would say something. Right? You could put clips of him saying something without actually being there, without Joe being there. So, and Joe was saying it, like, man, you keep slandering me. Like, why is every time I come, or is it something me bringing that up? Charlotte was a little bit more of a troll back then.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was kind of like, because you're more mature now. You're the black face of everything. It's kind of like you're to above.
I think I can tell you why.
It's your thing, but it's just like you just kind of.
I get that.
You just kind of do the same thing.
I think I could tell you why. A little bit of the difference. If I'm Charlamagne and I'm Joe, I think there's kind of a difference, because at the time, if he brings up Joe stuff, it's kind of. I'm not saying that it's not wrong. All I'm saying is that it wasn't during the midst of the allegations. This girl came back out of thin air talking about it again. And he says that in the midst of that. And y'all have worked, y'all had already talked out y'all issues, and y'all supposed to have been cool. Yeah. So if we already talked about everything, and then you're doing this when you was just on the phone with me, I don't think it's just the fact that he said that. I think it's the fact that, nigga, you was just on the phone with me talking about business. And then in the middle of ranting about the business that we discussed, you're talking as if we never talked, and you're slandering my business moves, and then you're bringing up the girl, and it's just like, what? Okay, so what's your end goal? So we're not friends, we're enemies. You expose your hand, because everybody always say they kind of like frenemies.
So is it hard? Would y'all say, would it be hard to be friends with a nigga that does the same shit as you in the industry like this? Like us doing a podcast, and we have to discuss certain shit, but that's your friend.
That's a fact.
I don't think.
Does that make it hard?
I don't think it makes it hard, because I've seen Charlamagne be friends with other people that do the same thing as him. I just think that they rival each other, and they really weren't friends, and they were trying to be friends.
I agree with that.
They were trying to be friends. I said a long time ago, they shouldn't be friends. They're acting like they're friends, and it's clear that they're not friends.
I agree with that. Second part of the first part, I agree with Brandon. It's like, it's cool until something happens to one person. You gotta talk about it. Like,
That's true.
Then it's like, damn, you supposed to have my back. You supposed to say something. You never know how somebody's gonna take what you say. I always say you can't measure disrespect.
But that's another problem between both of them, because both of them act like they're so not sensitive, and that they have the thickest skin in the world, and it don't matter.
Yeah.
And they both act like they understand it, but then when it's time to be emotional, they be emotional.
Yeah.
So they gotta figure that out too. So I mean, but I'm kind of more so glad that they just finally put it out there. Like, nigga, we not friends, because everybody got tired of seeing y'all at the end of the year doing your wrap
We
ups.
should have known that last year when the wrap up happened.
But I kind of like them together when because they was always because
They're the most too talented.
every time they're together, it's like the energy different. Charlamagne was a little bit better, keeping the same energy. A little bit. Joe was always like, "Well, why are we beefing again?" He's always not like that. And it's just Joe.
They make good content
They make
together.
content together. That's
Them, if they had like a fucking all-star podcast, them two and academics, that should be lovely. But I don't know if that's ever
like
gonna
trying to load up a team with 5 superstars. Shit just ain't gonna work.
Yeah, it's like Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, there's great differences.
So let's move on. Mulatto recently came out and changed her name. Remember that it was on her because they said that mulatto is a derogatory term for mixed people, or whatever, right?
Every mixed person I know that's I know quite a few mixed people that call themselves mulatto.
So she basically gave in to social media, changed her name to Lotto, aka Big Lotto. So it's kind of still like an abbreviation of the name. So my thing is, do y'all think that she should have gave in to social media and changed her name?
I don't.
She dropped like dope freestyles talking about her name.
That's like saying my name is Bow Wow, Lil Bow Wow, now I'm Bow Wow. Nigga, you say it's the same name. Wayne, Lil, like it's the same shit.
She went from nigga to nig.
Nigga to nig. Like, come on, man. Lotto, where's the name come from? Well, you know, the origin's still there, ain't it?
What she talking about? She playing a lottery or some shit?
I'm a lottery pick. I'm a first round lottery pick, baby.
Yeah, she got to change the background to it.
If she was gonna change it, she should have changed it all the way. I don't think she should have had to change it, because I don't think that term is that bad. I hate the internet, these sensitive ass motherfuckers. They got down there to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, I think she gave in. I think she gave in to the internet. I think that the people, because she changed it and people was already done talking about it. Nobody cared no more. It's only.
And if y'all get on the internet and see the people that was upset about it, I bet you not even 50% of them was mixed people.
Yeah.
These were black people, white people. There was nobody that was mulatto for real.
It's kind of like, if you say nigga and you black, you can't tell the girl not to call herself mulatto. It's like,
hey,
nigga, how you gonna call yourself mulatto?
Yeah.
Wait, what's it?
Like, yeah, you can't do that. So, but the internet don't care about hypocrisy. So, you know. So, Lil Reese recently went viral. He was shot again, and at first it came out that they was in a stolen car in a parking deck, and they got in a shootout with the people who car they stole. It later came out with a little bit more information. That basically that was Lil Reese's girlfriend's spot. He came out to the car to do a transaction, a little bit of weed, and you know how that is. You get in the car with the people, but the people had a stolen vehicle. They were selling them. He didn't know. The dad, and the son had a tracker on the vehicle. They pull up, they get into it. A shootout ensues. Lil Reese gets grazed in the eye and jumped, allegedly, after he was shot in the eye, like grazed it under his eye. And some disturbing footage came out where he's leaking on the ground. They recording it. Look at Lil Reese, y'all.
Footage drop.
Yeah. You don't want to see it. If you ain't already seen it,
I mean, it's
disturbing.
It's not disturbing like you can't see it, but a lot of people might be a little sensitive to that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess one, they tried to say when he talked to the police, he told the police, now weed is legal in Chicago. He told the police like, yeah, I was getting some weed from them. They were saying, oh, Lil Reese is a snitch. Everybody called him a snitch. So back to our usual combo. Is Lil Reese a snitch?
He was buying illegal things. It's like I can go to the dispensary.
Well, it could. I think it's still illegal for you to sell weed without a license.
Nigga might have ran to the store for him and picked the shit up.
But I can also tell you, in Chicago, the police don't give a before it was legal, they don't give a fuck about weed.
I just always thought, like, as a street nigga, the rules is you're not supposed to make a statement to the police.
Period.
Like, you can just be like, I don't know what happened.
Okay, dude.
Like, that's what I thought. So if you just saying all I did was, it's a statement.
Well, what if he said I was getting some weed from them? Is that snitching? He didn't say they were selling me weed. What if he said I was getting some weed from them?
I don't know what this is no more, really.
Yeah.
I don't.
There's no definition.
Snitching,
to me, it's just like
whatever you want to call it.
I feel like snitching is whatever you and your circle believe snitching to be. If y'all got some kind of common agreements as to what's snitching and what isn't snitching, and y'all live by that code, then okay, you're a snitch. Okay, you're not a snitch.
To me, any statement you make to the police, you make a statement, it could be considered snitching. But now, if you just mislead them, that's you playing the blurred lines part of it.
Yeah.
I do feel like Reese, man, it's like it's like you get shot a lot.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
I hate to be that nigga. I know that nigga hurt when it rained outside. Cause my body hurt now from football injuries. For all them bullet injuries, I know this nigga got
Bruh, like when I see
an old man and like just broken up.
I seen the comments like somebody get shot, it might be like pray for him. It was like, you know he ain't died.
Yeah.
This was no information. This was no information. Literally shot in the eye. Oh, he get shot again.
It's almost not like
it was like, oh shit. And
like
then
when Tupac got shot, niggas ain't think he was gonna die. They like, oh, this nigga gonna get up, get out.
and he get up and he make a statement saying good for the most part. It's like, god damn.
Has he made like a song about getting shot?
I don't think he can rap.
He
He has no voice, bro. Like he don't really make music. Well, he did make a mixtape and it sold like 4K and Academics was on his ass.
Is he still like? I remember when I first heard of Reese, like it was like a goon, like one niggas be
The
feared.
Shot Rap Grim Reaper.
Is that title?
He didn't have a rough 2 years, bro. They had the shit where they was talking about he shitted on himself.
Look kind of crazy.
Where he was to me, like it was dragging him through some wet mulch, so I could see where the stain come from. But either way, he was getting
jumped.
jumped.
Your ass jumped, you might shit on yourself.
Facts. That's a fact.
You might, but it didn't look crazy.
He got beat up. He got jumped after getting shot. He got shot. You know.
But the good thing, and bad thing is, these niggas keep trying to kill him when he ain't gonna die.
So the crazy part, you wanna know what the real crazy part is? He got half of it right. He's not getting shot in the hood. My family from Chicago, so I know where he was at. The first time he got shot, he was in Country Club Hills. That name right there enough to let you know what kind of place he at. That's a south suburb. That's the south suburb. It's not too far from the hood. Because Country Club Hills is right next to Harvey. So Harvey is a suburb, but it's a hood. But it's hood as fuck. So it's right there, like where he got shot at. But then, this one, he's in downtown Chicago. It's like, you're avoiding the hood, but you also just need to avoid the people.
You need to do like Chief Keef, leave.
You don't even need to be in the south suburb if you live on the south side.
Leave the state, go to Cali like everybody else.
Right. So it's just like, but I don't know if he can afford it. Like, he's not making money off music. I don't know what he makes money off of.
Fuck it, go to Indiana, go across the bridge.
So shit, that's Gary, nigga. That's worse.
Yeah. I ain't say Gary. Go to Indianapolis or some shit.
Yeah. So
price a little bit left.
yeah. So I'm not sure.
Cali prices.
Up to that nigga though.
Future just had a viral clip of Song 42 Dub come out.
I like the song.
Tell Steve Harvey I don't want him. He to send some shots Lori Harvey's way. So I got a question. Do y'all think it's time for Future to grow up, or do you feel like this is just him pandering for his fans?
This is 100% pandering.
Yeah.
I think he realizes, oh shit, that's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they want. I don't think he might not feel that way.
Future might not even be a toxic nigga for real.
He just go, okay.
He has to. When that nigga switched up when he was with Sierra, niggas hated that era of Future.
Mm-hmm.
When he was with Sierra, they hated that shit. So he was like, "Fuck it, I just gotta be a toxic."
So we can say that they hated it, but he still was having hits.
I mean, a hit gonna be a hit, but the niggas, the streets hated
The
that.
narrative was like,
He's worried about his pain.
He might have made his most. Or
So my thing is, can you be in a relationship with Future knowing that if y'all break up, he's gonna bash you? Can you be like?
Hey, if you should just why not? You gonna get the bag.
You should just expect it.
Yeah, that's just coming with the territory. You gonna get a kid, and then you gonna.
I think. See, no, I'm gonna tell you how this happened. Hey, look, so I'm gonna tell you how this happened. He dated Sierra, but he was really hurt about Sierra.
Yeah.
I think he was really hurt about Sierra, but then he seen like my fans love it though. So now it's like every time I'm with a girl and if we break up.
How you gonna rekindle the breakup magic?
Yeah, like he knows his method. So you know, first it was you give me Lori, you give me glory. Now it's tell Steve Harvey I don't want him. So and he's in another relationship right now. So you next, baby. You next. So YFN Lucci, they just put a Fed case on him, bro. They just put a Fed case on him, bro. It's a 105-page indictment. He's on page 75.
What's the Fed's rate? Conviction rate?
95, 96. So now he's facing a murder charge and a RICO charge. That's a black man's worst nightmare, right there.
Shit, I think the RICO might be worse than the murder charge.
Yeah, listen. I ain't gonna say he ain't gonna beat it. It's highly unlikely. He's gonna do time.
What would you say? Cause
he can fight that state case. He can fight that. He can fight that state case, that Fed case. He just trying to hope that he don't
take that plea, bro.
He gonna have to take that plea. Sit down for that Bobby Shmurda.
Take that plea.
Sit down for 8.
Point out who you need to point out. I mean, take that plea.
He can probably beat that murder case.
Sorry, nigga, I'm trying to go home. I ain't listen to me.
I think he could beat that murder case. Anything after that, boy. They still ain't really say what the RICO charge is about. I'm sure once they unseal the indictment, we'll figure out more. I'll leave that to niggas like academics to break down what's going on, because I sure ain't finna go research nothing. But Lucci, you know, my prayers is in your corner, brother. You know what I mean?
His girl
his children
down too.
No, she out there now.
You think so? Streets.
Listen, she might wait till the case closed, but she gonna slowly creep out and be out there.
Gucci, the only girl that got Gucci girl, the only president.
Gucci wasn't facing them type of charges. He facing gun charges, so you know your nigga coming home. You know what I'm saying? And she wasn't with him when he got sentenced. She got back with him while he was in jail. So she, you know.
You gave her that bill.
Yeah. He hold it.
Hold it down.
Yeah.
Hold it down for 5 years.
Talk about Joe Lucci. Let's talk basketball, man, before we close this segment out. We're going to talk about that Golden State Lakers. So we watched it. Amazing game. Great game. LeBron hits a shot with a fucked up eye, which with his, I would call it dramatization. He says he was seeing 3. It's funny because when you look at the replay, he didn't get poked in the eye.
Nah, like I got a partner who hates LeBron. He's a Jordan fan, old dude, and like he hates LeBron. He's a hater, but shit like that validates why he hates him.
Why people feel
does shit so much.
Yeah,
and it's just like, bro.
Yeah,
it's like you got like he just got like Ricky. Damn, when he got shot, he didn't act like that.
Cause he fell, he got hit in the head, like right here in the forehead. He came down holding the back of his head, but the back of his head didn't hit the ground. And he started holding his knee.
And he started
I really would have thought it was his ankle because he came down all on his ankle awkwardly.
I'm seeing 3.
But then he was getting Visine in his eye on the bench. And then he hits the 3 and they reading his lips. He said, I can't see, I can't see. And then he says in the postgame, I seen 3 real, I just shot for the middle one.
He get poked in the eye, the Steph Curry charge, flailing, I got hit in the chin. He get touched. And it's like, flailing. And to his credit, that's talent. Because his timing was impeccable.
Even when he said, I think I'll never be 100% again.
He's so fucking dramatic, man.
It's like, I think he's trying to add to his legacy. It's easy to add to your legacy once, like he likes having those cramp games.
Oh, like the flu game. Oh, man. See, like with the mic, maybe we just like wasn't old enough and with no social media.
Yeah.
That's how Because maybe they would be like, Mike's soaking it up too. Like, you really need Pepe to hold you up.
I think he
I can
soaks
see
it
that.
up, but Mike has never been the personality that LeBron is.
But did he ever? Did Mike?
But
ever
that's what I'm saying.
speak
Mike
on the
didn't
food game?
speak on it.
Yeah.
This is what the media created. If you gonna have a eye game, let the media create the eye game. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the one to do it. But the real question I wanted to ask, I seen Stephen A. After that, he said the shot was pure luck. He said it was because it was a desperation heave as the clock was going down. Of course, Skip Bayless said the same thing. Do we agree that the shot was luck?
Listen.
I feel like if you make the shot, you make the shot regardless, luck or not. You can shot that shit 2 feet for the rim.
Well, we know
Or you can
that.
shot that shit
We
from
know
half
that.
court.
We
It
know
don't
you made
matter.
the shot.
You make the shot. You get the credit for making the shot.
Yeah.
But we as fans, and we're into optics. We're into debates. We're into clutch. We're into. That wasn't like I'm calling my shot. That wasn't Dame Lillard. Where he's like, it was heave. He heaved it up and he made it. In my opinion, he made it. I wasn't as impressed as everybody else. As far as outside the impact of the shot, because he won the game. But it wasn't like, oh, dog, like he got ice in his veins.
So
dagger. It was like and ball came to him. He heaved it up.
So let me piggyback off what you're saying. I do agree that I wasn't as impressed. Like, it was a good shot. I've seen LeBron make the shot. That's why I don't think it's luck. I think I seen him call for it. They passed him the ball. He had his feet set. He was ready to shoot. He shot it. It was regular form. I think we get caught up because we're not used to LeBron necessarily making those shots all the time. That we look at it like, LeBron, that was luck. Could have been a little bit of luck involved, maybe. But I think that when he shot that, he followed through regularly. It looked LeBron. I think LeBron. Like, to me, what's luck when you come out and say that it's luck? It's like if he catch it and just.
Yeah, maybe not luck. I don't want to say luck because he had a normal follow through push. It just I don't know.
You know, LeBron doesn't normally take. He was forced into that decision.
I just feel like it wasn't as impressive to me.
I'm a Lakers fan and I'm trying to grow to be a LeBron fan. It's still a lot of work to go there. But
you're an old school.
I can't. Yeah, but I can't take away from. He hit a great shot. Luck or not, no luck.
Because
hit the
we
shot.
gotta ask ourselves. I'm not even gonna say the obvious. Let's just say that fucking. Let's say Paul George makes that shot. Are we gonna say that that's luck? Are you gonna say it's luck?
I'm not gonna. Me personally, no. I'm not gonna.
The exact same scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If Clay hits it.
No, we're gonna say it's Clay. They don't get the benefit of that doubt for sure.
So a shooter
will get the benefit of that doubt.
But we've seen LeBron. He hit that shot 4 times this year.
I agree. I don't know. I'm willing to say it might just be a narrative that's.
I've been a LeBron hater.
That's fucking my opinion.
Yeah, I think I've been a LeBron hater, and I think a part of the narrative of being a LeBron hater still sticks with you sometimes. And that particular shot, you like. Ain't no way.
I couldn't even do it this time.
I used to be a LeBron hater, so I think that's what it did. Nigga, really, this time that wasn't. Yeah, the little hate might have came out, and maybe because I wasn't impressed. I was just like, oh, that's just you had no choice. You didn't have to think. I felt like Skip Bayless. You just shot it. It wasn't no.
Yeah.
The mental part of the clutch shot was gone because it was like it was no stakes.
Yeah.
I feel like if you miss it. Yeah, I don't know.
So let me ask you this: Steph plays tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Steph has a equal game like he did with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. They
They win. They get into the AFC. Does he deserve MVP?
I don't think he deserves MVP, regardless.
Wow. You got Joker.
I think Joker's have a better season than him.
Even after the 8 point?
I think Joker. See, this is where you got to look at it. So the criteria usually for MVP is what?
The best
The
player,
the better record. Basically, the other people that were MVPs, they were all hurt. So we got to kick them out, right? So that leaves kind of Joker by default. His stats would say all around that he's had a better season, right? But then you also can make an argument that he's had a better team.
For sure.
Then you could also say, Steph, look what he did with nothing.
I don't think Steph had nothing. I think he had little to nothing. But the only argument I would say is his Joker's second best player went out. And they didn't drop.
Towards the end of the season.
But they didn't drop.
They didn't drop, but this man carried this team. This is the team that had the number 2 pick last year.
And he
comes back and he can get him
500 and a little bit over 500.
Yeah.
Which gets you second place.
Okay.
In my opinion. I think Joker had a better season, better record.
I think Joker.
Without Jamal Murray, they stayed the same.
Yeah. I think Joker wins it. I think that just because I know the criteria, but I think it's a close call though. I think it's a close call because I think it was there for Joel Embiid to take, but he can't stay healthy.
That's his biggest issue.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy. This is probably the most healthiest season he'd ever had. He still missed 19 games. So I don't know, but y'all tell me who y'all got. We all know the spread now. We know the matchups and everything. Give me y'all conference finals predictions, and then give me your finals predictions. So let's start with the East.
I got Brooklyn and I got Brooklyn.
Get Brooklyn and it would be probably.
I don't trust Milwaukee, bro.
Well, they would have to play Milwaukee next round if Milwaukee wins and
Milwaukee's the 3rd seed?
Yeah.
Who's the 1st seed?
First seed is Sixers.
I got Philly and Brooklyn.
Philly and Brooklyn.
I got Philly and Brooklyn. And in the West, I got the Lakers. They're the 7th seed. And I got Utah.
Utah. You don't think the Clippers gonna make it?
I think this year we are gonna get the Lakers Clippers. And then I like Brooklyn, Miami.
What seed is Miami?
Miami's playing. That means no, it can't be Brooklyn Miami because that means that they would play Brooklyn
the next round.
I gotta look at it. Hold on, I'll come back.
I got Brooklyn.
I can see Miami beating
them again.
Milwaukee.
Beating Milwaukee again.
They play.
That's what they playing right now.
Right now. That's why.
I don't think so. Cause I think Milwaukee has a. They got new choices, new additions to the team. They shoot better now, and that was always people always say that it's Giannis' fault. Giannis does take blame for the last 2 years, but at the same time, I was never really on him because I felt like when the playoffs came and they built that wall, that means that the role players have to make shots, and that's the thing. They weren't making shots, and they were average. They were in the middle of the pack 3-point shooting team last year, and now they're at the top of the league.
So this year is no excuse.
It's no excuse.
It's on Giannis. He's teammate.
Yeah, it's no excuse this year.
Not in a sense.
They played him a little bit more in the paint to get him a bit more accustomed to things. Like I like what they've done, and I don't think Miami is the same team. We're not going to be in the bubble.
Yeah, I don't believe in Miami.
So I don't think that it's the same. It's going to be the same.
I got Philly, Brooklyn, LA, and the other is also.
I got LA.
It could be Clippers. I
got LA. In the East, I got like I said, I got Brooklyn. I got Brooklyn coming out, beating the Sixers in 6.
I don't think the Sixers gonna make it, bro.
I think they make it.
I don't.
Who gonna beat them?
They got the easiest route.
No, they don't even face Milwaukee. They'll face the 4th. They'll face the Knicks or the Hawks in the 2nd round.
Come on, man.
I'm going Hawks.
All right, what's the next subject?
You did that?
Hawks might not get out the 1st round.
I think the Hawks is beating New York. I think New York is a little too excited, and I think that like the curse of New York is gonna happen.
I got the Hawks.
All right, so let's get to that. All right, man, it's time for that. Here we go, yo. Say what? What's the scenario?
Hey.
Taja, she meets a guy named Rick in downtown Atlanta. They chop it up, and he asked for her IG. Not her phone number, he asked for her IG. So they're talking on there briefly, and he asked her to come to LA with him. Taja isn't really feeling the idea. So the question is this guy a creep? Does he just move fast? How suspicious is the guy to you? And just what do y'all think about this situation altogether?
Is he a creep? There's not enough information to know he's a creep based on that. If you accepted the IG, like if you once you initiate, like once a dude don't ask your number, he asks your IG, and you be like, okay, like I think that's just par for the course. That's like give like that's like step 10. Step 1 or 2 is the no numbers, the IG, move fast. Like so, I feel like that's just par for the course. So he could be just that type of nigga. I just feel like the expectation shouldn't be, oh, I'm looking for like some type of long-term relationship. That sounds like hookup.
I mean, to me,
there's nothing creepy about that. It's just
to me, I feel like that nigga got some shit he trying to hide. I don't really see nothing wrong with him asking for the IG initially. At some point within the first 24 to 72 hours, they should have got the phone number.
So you saying this nigga got a wife?
He got something.
Is that any of your business?
No.
If you,
it's not.
Then what?
Wait, what you mean? Is that any of your business?
If you're the girl in that situation, right? If you're Taja and he asks you for you meet a dude you talking and he asks for your IG, you accept it. Like at what point does he owe you? What is like? You know what I'm saying? If you don't ask,
I think it is.
If you don't ask,
well, yeah.
If you don't set your standards to the point where it's like,
yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? You're going with the flow.
I would say this. I wouldn't say is that any of your business because it sounds like just the brief conversation he already came out and asked. Hey, you want to come to LA? Like they didn't establish nothing yet. So I wouldn't necessarily say that's not her business. I would say the nigga was kind of moving too fast for her to even get to know the situation to decide what she wants to do.
What I will say, if Taja decides to go on this trip to LA, and I may get backlash for this, don't think you going there and he ain't expecting to get some pussy, especially if he paying for everything.
See, we've already talked about this before though. You can expect ass if she don't want to give it to you.
She shouldn't
go. That's what you gotta settle for.
She shouldn't go.
I wouldn't advise her to do that.
I agree.
You shouldn't go unless you want to get
like
some.
he's entitled
like
to
she's
it.
In debt to him.
Or
I didn't say in debt.
But she shouldn't go if her expectation is not to give ass because you're just a party pooper.
Because right now it just sounds
party pooper.
So he bringing her along as a party favorite and she ain't trying to goddamn.
She's a buzzkill at that point. Nah, but I just feel like her expectations should change with that. He set the standard of not giving her for her number, just asking for her IG. That means he wants you to see what's on his IG. His wife ain't on his IG, obviously. Or his whatever situation he got on. He just moving like you having a hot girl.
Y'all both live in Atlanta and he's trying to take you to LA something and he only gave you his IG, he hiding something.
Possibly.
That's just my thing.
Or he don't feel like he don't care. Like
you're
he's
a fun
not,
girl.
You're a fun girl. Like he's not. I'm not finna tell a girl I just hooked up with my whole situation. They don't care. Like that shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I would tell the girl, but he ain't gonna tell you his own situation. That's where you make your choice.
Hey, but let's say the roles will reverse. You meet a girl, same situation. You going on that trip?
I would, because I don't have nothing to worry. I'm not gonna say I don't have nothing to worry about. If I'm in a position where I'm single and I want to have fun as well, and she offers that to me, she paying for it. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm a little, maybe in my younger years or something. I'm
not.
Now,
I would do that more in my older years, to be honest with you.
I do that shit right now.
Yeah, I would do that kind of more in my older years if I was single.
I feel like some type of scam, some type of setup. Like, why would you fly me out to LA? I might have to know you a little bit.
You ain't never had nobody fly you out?
Nah, I ain't been that.
I'm sorry, we ain't been flued out. What I would do though, to ensure, I get it. I would still be skeptical too. But what I would do is, I'll let her pay for my ticket, but my ticket there and back or whatever. But I'm gonna take measures to separate myself to where I can't be vulnerable for a setup like.
Kind of hard to do, but I guess you can try.
I mean,
I'm gonna have a separate room.
I can afford to get my own room, and if something don't check out, you know what? She won't even know.
Hey, I got a free flight out there. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy myself.
So like, let's just say for example, she call you out there, you fly out, she say, come to my hotel. All right, you gonna come, right?
I come.
And
But
then,
I ain't gonna be too fucked up. I'm gonna know what the fuck going
you
on.
gonna walk in, she gonna close the door, and then there's niggas in the bathroom.
Hey man, but see, me, first of all, this is where I
They
defer.
take your liver out because you fit a description
So you know-
the black market or something. Hell nah.
So
Nah,
you are correct. You are correct.
It's,
I know
it's
me.
possible, but
They
No,
sell
No,
body
and it's
parts.
LA. So you are correct.
Just like that.
You're right. Maybe I wouldn't go as soon as possible like
I
that.
gotta get to know you.
But what I would do, yes, let's talk a little bit, and then I'll take you up on that offer.
Yeah, then I can at least be like, I can use my
I can feel you out.
Feel you out. Think, okay.
Yeah.
have I had a
Get-
situation like this?
I feel like in this world we live in with social media, the degrees of separation are small. It's somebody that might know somebody that know you.
Mm-hmm.
And just even like who we go to high school with, who's just let me see. I need to see you. You need to be can't just be a random person.
I mean, I had something like this happen, and we just flew out to Florida. But I had people that I knew lived in that city. It was like, yo, if you don't hear from me in a minute.
She flew you out, or y'all kind of decided, and she paid for it.
Yeah, more like that. She ain't flew me out.
That's different
That shit
though.
sounded-
We're talking about you meet a girl.
You meet a girl.
I mean, it's the
3
same
days
thing.
later.
You wasn't talking like. I'm assuming you knew this.
No.
Oh, so you kind of just met her.
It all happened within 7 days.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if I remember that, but if so, I probably told you, hey nigga, be careful.
I didn't tell you for a reason.
I probably been like, you need to be careful.
Be careful, bro, because like it's just not normal. Like if it's not like somebody you know that's popping, they got money that's just trying to get some sex and trying to live lavishly.
Yeah, that was an old thing.
You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
That's what it was.
This party promoter that every time you go to the club you see them, and then this is one time you run into them
Nah, it
or
was,
something.
it was a little different than that. But the way the situation happened, I mean, shit, man, I had a good time. I came right back.
Worked out.
But it's dangerous. It's dangerous,
You
especially,
never know.
and it's more dangerous for a woman to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that can't shit happen to a man, but hey, women, y'all just be extra careful, especially these days.
Facts.
All right. Tisha. She's cousin Sticky's sister.
Cousin Sticky.
So,
Tisha is married with 3 kids. She's married to a nigga named Rock. Rock has been beating Tisha's ass, and recently Sticky has found out. Sticky's telling Tisha all the things he plans to do with Rock, and she says to Sticky, no matter what you do, I'm going to stay with Rock because I love him. As a brother, you're torn because that's your little sister. At the same time, she doesn't want help. What do you do if you're cousin Sticky?
Have you been in this situation?
thankfully, no.
Okay, so I've had
What?
I've had a family member, or no, I ain't gonna say that, but damn near family member, close
I know what
enough.
you're talking about.
And it's to the point where I learned from that one time, if you know they're not done, stay out of it. You give the best advice you can, but don't put yourself in a position to catch a charge for some shit. You go do some shit to this nigga, beat his ass, you go to jail, and this nigga right back in the house the same night. Like, if you know they're not done, domestic violence is that's another drug. That's a drug in itself. Like,
It's an addiction.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, no,
So it's like you in love with this person, you're not over it. Until you can see that I need help, I want to get out. They come to you with that type of energy, like, until then, all you can do is pray for them. Because at the end of the day, you gonna put more stress on yourself than your cousin, your auntie, your sister, whoever. And next day, you know, they gonna be living their life, nigga. You got this shit on you, now you got this charge. That fuck you up with you gonna have to jail, money. Might fuck up your job.
So what if he beats her? So you make that decision, right? And he beats her to a point where she's damn near dead, right? What do you do?
My conscience at this point, I know that
You tried.
I tried everything that I could, and I knew you were not done. So you can't put yourself in that position to fuck yourself up.
It's tough situation. Like, you know, old me, no matter what, I'm jumping, trying to defend my siblings. But if it's one of those where they're not, like, they're in a toxic relationship, they're not trying to leave. I'm not about to, like, jeopardize, risk my freedom, my situation, to beat them up. But there's other ways I feel like you can do. You might be able to snitch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, call the police or try to snitch or, you know, set them up.
For me, at least,
I'm gonna try to do something.
for me, if anything, I'm gonna try to find a way to get them kids in a better position. Then, like, I don't know if I can take them in, or maybe other family members. Maybe I can work something out, because them kids don't need to be in the house, you know, watching you get your ass beat.
Like I might just try to set up something to catch him. So the police can do it. Maybe not me, my hands on the set. Try.
Just the next time I find out or hear about that he did that, I'm calling the cops.
But that shit makes it's hard.
It's gonna be like, for me, I can't be around it at all. Yeah. Like, he's not coming over for no Christmas dinner. No. We're not, like, he needs to be away from me.
But you're putting yourself, especially if you involve the cops with the kids, you're putting yourself, it's a great position. But if they don't come at the right moment where some shit is really happening, they'll fall off on the situation. Now,
I mean, like,
you got
surveillance type of sketch.
Drop a bug on
something.
Put a video in that motherfucker.
Because if I feel like it's her life at danger, then I'm gonna go to those extreme.
I mean, yeah, that's when I might slide a kid a little burner phone. Hey, call me or record this shit when you see it happen.
Call the young homies.
It's just hard, bro. When either party in the relationship is getting abused, and you know it ain't but so much you can do.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Last one. Deshauna and Red have been saving for a business for 5 years. Red meets a guy who can give him a solid warehouse space to start their business for cheap. Red wants to surprise Deshauna with the warehouse, but the guy ends up being a scammer and takes off with all the money that they've saved the last 5 years. How should Red tell Deshauna what happened? And should Deshauna stick by her man or dip out on him? They've been together, let's say 8 years. Saving for 5.
Deshauna has every right to leave. She can try to listen, be understanding.
She can't afford to leave. All her money gone.
All her money gone, but hey, regardless of money,
you know, a woman keep an extra stash. A woman keep an extra stash. She probably got $1,000 to her name. She got it somewhere.
But she has every right to read, because the only bad thing about the bad part about the situation is, if we're doing this together and we're supposed to be partners, you can't make that decision by yourself. Regardless,
He's trying to surprise. He's trying to surprise.
It doesn't matter. You have to make sure.
Go ahead.
Like, I'll be mad a little bit. Even if I like the warehouse, man, I'll be kind of mad. Like, you did this without me.
Like, even if you got the warehouse, everything's great. Yeah, you still gonna be mad because we're supposed to be partners. We're supposed to do this shit together.
This is half of my money is like you spending it without approving, like,
and that's still
to
like,
avoid something like that. Yeah.
And even if, you know, women have a better intuition on some shit like that might happen. You would want to get that information, especially if that's your woman.
But you gotta leave, because this nigga does not make. He don't make good decisions.
And if you stay, you better not ever do another business venture.
Can't do
business. In fact, we don't even need a joint account.
Because the whole surprise thing, that's why you don't do that.
That's not a surprise. Surprise is a bag. It's a trip.
That's not a surprise. You don't surprise.
All surprise is that you making the business decisions.
Clearly, you got scammed out.
That's like me telling y'all niggas, hey, bro, I just signed this deal. We in there. Nigga, we get fucked and we decide all our rights over.
What nationality is the scammer?
Probably
African.
Nigerian.
He had Nigeria for sure. For sure, and now's your boy.
Yeah, that's Nigeria. You gotta leave. You gotta leave.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm sorry.
You gotta leave.
I'm sorry. I'm out.
He can't even be mad at it.
You got ruined the relationship. Listen, I'm gonna give you 30 days to get up out of here, just cause maybe you did have good intentions. But it's no falling back from that. It's just like we can't recover to back what we did unless you hit the fucking lottery or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Maybe come to me when you get your money right. Maybe we can think about it again.
Maybe. And that's the scenario where you come back. It might be. I can see, like, you break up, you come back because
she's gonna be resentful towards you. She's gonna talk to you crazy.
You gotta get my money back.
Yeah.
And then you don't make no more business decisions.
Yeah. She's gonna talk to you crazy. She's gonna disrespect you. You literally just betrayed all of her trust. Because y'all was doing this as a team, y'all built 5 years. She probably used to look at that money grow and be like,
Yeah.
Man, I love this nigga. We really gonna be good together.
You can't do that.
And then you did some bozo shit.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit.
You took it. Oh, no, you gotta go. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, Red.
Hell no.
I'm sorry, Red. Back to the streets.
You gotta be performing on the beach. You know, you get out of here. That's the cap. Got a few for y'all today. So we was on the playoff tip, right? So Wizards and AC. Russell Westbrook just averaged another triple double. His 4th time. Mm-hmm. Are triple doubles in today's NBA overrated? Facts or cap?
Cap. Facts.
Speak on it, Justin.
I would say slightly because. Okay, so I think back in the day, like when Magic and Bird and shit was doing it, it was underrated because only the superstars were able to do it. And I think now it's kind of overrated because though it's necessary, if you can make an argument that it's necessary when Russell Westbrook does it because he wins 75% of his games, but when he does it in the playoffs, what does it amount to? He hasn't been out the first round. We're not. Some people would say, oh well, he had to do it because the team's been on, but he's also had other talents since Kevin Durant. It still hasn't worked. Now people are gonna make excuses like, well, it was Paul George and it was James Harden, but in actuality, I just think it's just everybody can do it these days. Yes, they're better athletes. There's better players today, but at the same time, I just don't think like the niggas who was getting triple doubles back then, they were getting the championships. Now it's just like niggas is doing
Oscar Robertson was getting championships? I think he won one.
I don't know nothing about Oscar Robertson. So
He missed the triple double.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, you can be back then.
I wasn't
That's not
talking-
even back
yeah,
then.
I wasn't-
That's Stone Age.
Yeah, nigga, I ain't going to
Talking
the
about
60s
80s and 90s.
I'm talking about just shit that's in color. So
My bad. You know, that is color.
Shit that's in
Nigga
color.
said back then.
So, well,
2007.
I think it's a middle ground in between there. Like I think that they're necessary sometimes, but I don't think it's the end all be all. Like,
So let's not talk in broad. Let's talk specifically Russell. Is him averaging triple double for a season overrated?
facts. Cause what has it done? I think one time maybe he got a team that like when the one time I really felt like it was absolutely necessary is when Kevin Durant left.
That first time.
That first year. But when you have Paul George, I get it. But even if you watch the game that they lost against, who was that they did the playing game?
Indiana?
No, that was last night. They lost to
They lost to Indiana, yeah.
no, that was for the AC. Who they lose to?
Boston.
So when I'm watching Boston, I'm watching the game. And I'm never able to describe why I didn't fuck with his triple double until I watched that game and it hit me like a light. I'm watching him.
Like he's thirsty for it.
I'm watching him leaving shooters wide open, standing in the paint, letting Jason Tatum or whoever it may be
Maybe he know the nigga can't
get.
shoot.
Well, Jason Tatum had 50. I'm watching possessions where Jason Tatum is wide.
Adjustment at 35.
Yeah, I'm watching opportunities where Jason Tatum is wide the fuck open, and Westbrook, that's your man. But you too busy hovering by the paint so you can get a rebound.
Okay.
I think that I think that he knows that like it's a harder opportunity for him to get a championship. It's an easier opportunity for him to just pile up triple doubles. Or maybe he's just accustomed to playing that way now. But either way, I think that it's over. I think it's a beautiful thing to do during the season. I'm not gonna say stop getting your triple doubles. But when it comes down to when basketball matters the most, his triple doubles never matter.
B, what you think?
I mean, it's an accolade. Right? So, at the end of the day, it's not easy to get a triple double. It's like, it may look like he padding his stats, but maybe that's just what he feel like he got to do for his team to win. It may not always bring championships, but that's what he got to do to make his team win. He got to get his 10, 10, and 10. Then that's just what the fuck he got to do. I don't feel like it makes it like not as big. Like the nigga's a great player. He's good. Like it's like saying you take everything away from Barkley because that nigga ain't win a championship. Like this nigga is.
I didn't say you take everything away, but this ain't even about. For me, it's not even about the championship. The man can't even get out the first round. He can't get out the first round.
But has he not had the hardest ways?
No.
You don't think so?
He's played with James Harden. He's played with Paul George. He's played with Victor Oladipo. It's not that he hasn't had no talent.
But these aren't the best teams. He might have.
I'm just asking you out the first round. I ain't saying he had to win a championship. You ain't got out the first round since KD left.
So,
except once.
So does this put him in the same category that you would put Chris Paul?
So a lot of people, I'm kind of on the fence with Chris Paul because I feel like Chris Paul, the only talented team for real that the only two teams that he's been on that's been talented was 1 year with Houston where he got injured, which I put that against him. Like he's always injured when it's time for the playoffs, so I hold that against him. But also say like the Clippers teams he had, they were talented, but they're the Clippers. You know what I mean? Like I feel like for the most part, if you look, for the most part, his teams have overachieved when he's on the teams. Like this year, the only thing that changed about Phoenix was that he's on the team. And he took them from being a 9th place team to a second year team. If you look at what he did with Oklahoma City last year, I feel like he'd be on teams where things are counted, like where he's not supposed to be where he's at. We can argue a couple years with LA. I get on his ass because sometimes he hasn't got the job done a couple times. So I'll hold that against him. But for the most part of his career, he's never had just that one guy to play with until he played with James Harden.
I'm about to say, what's the difference with Russ? The difference is he got out the first round.
The difference is that he got out the first round.
So what's the conference finals?
He got to the Western Conference Finals. He played with KD. He played with a loaded team. He played with James Harden twice. James Harden was
I'm
MVP.
saying CP. Yeah. We're saying the same thing, but I had to correct myself. Like, yeah, he did get out the first round.
He had Paul George was an MVP candidate.
Even the Clippers got out the first round.
Yeah. And people gonna say, oh, well, they lost that because Paul George and the Dame Lillard shit. But at the same time, Russell Westbrook didn't play good. The man was shooting. He's been shooting under 40% in the playoffs since KD left. He hasn't been efficient. He's been shooting under 40% and under 30% in the playoffs from three.
So my thing is.
So you get a triple double, you just ain't efficient.
If Russell Westbrook is him getting triple double overrated, I don't think it's overrated because I think he's the only one averaging it that's impressive for 4 straight years. So in that in itself is not overrated.
I don't think it's overrated during the season.
But I just think people overrate triple doubles to the fact that it's supposed to just because you have a stat line 20, 10, 10, 18, 10, 10, it's supposed to equate wins. I don't think so. That's an individual stat.
Let me ask you this. If he wins 75% of his games when he gets a triple double during regular season, and then you get to the playoffs and he gets a triple double and you don't win, is the triple double overrated?
No.
Say that one more time.
If you win, he wins 75% of the time of his games through the season when he has a triple double. But then when you get to the playoffs, they don't really mean shit.
Yeah, but
you lose.
I think he loses when he don't get triple double either. It's like it's not like I think he's playing to.
I think it does. I can agree with you to the point where you say people probably overrate it.
Overrated.
I'm not speaking when I say it. I'm not also 100% blaming Westbrook for it. That's why I said. That's also why I said if that could just be the way that he plays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that could just be the way that Russell Westbrook plays. At the same time, you asked me, is the triple double overrated?
Yeah. That's true. It's a triple double.
I do think that the triple double is overrated. One, because you see players that don't get a lot of playing time and say they have a game where they can play a lot, they get it. So it's not as valuable when everybody can do it.
I agree on that. I don't think it's overrated when he averages it for 4 seasons. Though.
I don't think it's overrated. I think it does well for a team in the season, but I think for the last few years, he's played a part in teams folding in the playoffs.
I agree. Facts to cap. Can you be cool with your friend's ops? Facts to cap.
I mean,
Rory.
For me, that's cap. You can't be. I'm not cool with my friend's ops.
Speak on it.
But it depends on like what we're calling an op. Like if you're just an op because y'all niggas is acting like bitches over a girl or some shit, I'm gonna tell y'all niggas y'all acting like bitches over a girl. But if it's real smoke, and like Brandon, my partner, he got real smoke with somebody, nah. I'm not.
Let's say Brandon and a nigga you cool with, our best friends with another nigga you cool with, like he did some try to steal with some money.
Oh no, yeah.
And they fell out. Like he did some try to steal. And Brandon's saying he stole from him, and when he see him, every time he see him, it's pretty much smoke. The other guy saying, nah, Brandon just lousy business, whatever. He just tripping. So it's a discrepancy there.
So I'll say he's an op, but that don't mean I'll tell Brandon. I don't mean I'm finna fight him with you.
No. But could you be cool with him? Could if you
what is cool? Cause me,
cool
I could be
for
like we could be in the same room together. But that don't mean that I'm about to fuck with you.
So are you gonna change the relationship you have with him?
Yeah.
Because
for my partners, yeah. Because I look at my partners stand up enough to know that they not gonna tell me they got a real problem with a nigga if it's not really fixable or if it's not really an issue. My friends don't come up to me and say something is an issue and it's light work. Or because even if he does, because if Brandon
you're using the strength of your friendship to
if Brandon came up to me and said he got real smoke with somebody, Brandon no, he's done that before, and I'll be like, oh nigga, that's not really an issue. I done made up in my mind that oh no, that nigga's out of bounds, so he's an op. Yeah, I don't fuck with him.
B.
I trust my friends.
Facts of cat.
That's definitely facts. Like, and I don't really like. There's certain niggas I fuck with that. Hey, if you don't fuck with this nigga, 9 times out of 10, I probably see this nigga in the street and say what's up and dap him up. That's about it. But I look fake as a friend to the nigga that I'm with every day, or goddamn we communicate like that's my nigga. I know goddamn. If his nigga ready to throw hands, I'm gonna throw hands with you.
I got an example too.
So it's like, it ain't even too much you gotta tell me. Once you tell me that's the issue, and I know this shit is for real, like there's a real issue. Like you said, if y'all arguing over a female, fuck it. Hey, I'm like, hey man, y'all, you kind of look like a little bitch right now, but hey, I'm gonna respect it. But that don't mean if I see this nigga, I ain't gonna chop it up with him, dap him up. But you tell me like, yo, nah, like, it's some smoke with this nigga. Nah, I can't fuck with him out the strength that now I look like I'm playing both sides.
Like for example, I can give you an example.
Okay.
So one time, back in the day, we went to a party, right? At a mutual friend house. He had like 2-3 different roommates. Brandon was conversating with a girl there at the party that we all know. Just chopping it up in the bathroom. Not the bathroom. I said in the bathroom. Chopping it up in the kitchen.
What's not the best?
It's a smoke party. I remember it was like 4:20. We all chilling, you know, vibing and shit. So when it came time to throw another party, they hit me up and was like, "Hey, y'all niggas can come,
but
Brandon can't come." I said, "Why?" He said, "My roommate said that Brandon he didn't like the way Brandon was talking to his girl or something. We didn't even know that they was together." I didn't even care to need to explain that shit. I just was like, shit, if he can't come, I ain't coming. We ain't coming.
And then you told him that.
I don't fuck
party anyways.
Huh? I never went to the party.
You dropped the niggas off and went to the party anyway.
I never went to the party. I didn't even text him back after that. Cause it was just like,
I would've did.
That's some bitch ass nigga shit.
One because this nigga saw the conversation. It wasn't like I was big. I can see if you know your nigga out of
pocket. Me out the strength, and I still sometimes might believe that Brandon might be drunk and don't even remember. But if Brandon would tell me, nigga, I didn't do shit. If he was adamant about it, nigga,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I ain't gotta go to that party.
Oh man,
what you think?
Fuck nigga here.
First of all, he definitely gonna be able to be cool.
Nah, like
I feel like your relationships are separate.
No. Listen.
He gonna try to mend it together.
Like, the thing, y'all took a cheat code. I didn't really say like a triangle friendship. Like it's like all y'all friends and 2 of your friends fall out. I didn't say that. This is one of your friend and a dude you just cool with, right?
That's easier.
So that's easier
for me.
So you're saying
it's easier for me to say niggas are op.
Oh, so
you're saying if we're all friends?
No, I didn't say that.
No, he's saying like it was a nigga like y'all just Y'all just cordial. Y'all ain't really got no rapport, like no relationship.
No, you got a rapport, but like, I feel like it's levels of friendship, right?
Yeah.
You got somebody it's your day one, you cool with, you hang out with.
I see this nigga in passing all the time. I see him around.
Or you cool, you don't, it's not like, he's not gonna be at your wedding, but if you're having a party, he would be invited.
Yeah.
So it was like that level of friend. So that you cool.
That's even easier.
So your close friends say, now he a op. And you got a good rapport with this person. You never had no background with him. They had a business thing. And I'm like, okay, he's an op. So that means that you didn't say, Justin, that you're ready to fight the nigga on site. You're just saying, if Brandon was fighting him, you gonna have Brandon back.
Yeah, now if they get to fighting, yeah, I'm in there.
You gonna jump him?
I'm not necessarily gonna jump him on my left if Brandon go in his ass, but if another nigga jump in,
Oh yeah. But that's just
yeah.
That's
I mean, my thing is, I'm still a stand-up guy. So if they get to fighting, I'm securing the perimeter. Nigga.
But okay, cool. So what I'm saying is, if Brandon tell you to smoke with this dude, let's say his name is Jamal, right? He smoked with Jamal, and you and Jamal went to school together. Y'all was cool. If the kickback something, he would get invited. All good rapports. But now you see Jamal at Publix, you don't speak to him?
No.
That's
if he talk to me, if he listen, I could talk to him. I could tell him this. I could tell him this. I'll be like, hey, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. My boy not fucking with you, and I fucks with my boy. So the only thing I could tell you is, for this whole little thing to be thing is maybe y'all need to sit down and talk. But I'm gonna just be honest with you, just off the strength of him, I can't fuck with you. Just because that's my nigga.
Cause it look like you moving funny at that point.
Yeah. So I would tell him, y'all niggas repair whatever y'all got going on, and we could all kick it back off. Like, I'm not saying I'm not wanting to reason with somebody. I'm not the nigga. I'm not the nigga that's gonna go 100. I'm not the nigga that's gonna 100.
If he ain't like smack your daughter, like it depends on what the situation was. If y'all got a bad business deal and he stole from you.
Oh, that's easy not to fuck with him.
And I'm gonna be like, yo, he stole from you, so like y'all gotta handle that. But until that, I'm gonna have to ride with my homie.
I might not even talk to you if that's the case. If y'all here doing shit like that.
Nah, I owe you that conversation. That's what I'm saying. If I owe you that conversation,
it depends on how much I feel like how close y'all relationship was.
Even if that was my best friend, that initial first time I see you, I'd be like, yo, you say you stole your money, so and then especially if Brandon be like, yo, yeah, if I see him, that's not your business, that's my business, but as a friend.
It don't matter. If I see you in Publix, the most, at the very least, if I have this much respect left for you, will be a head nod, and I'm keeping it moving. Like
I say this.
I gotta have that conversation.
I say this.
I gotta let you know.
So this is what I say. That's y'all business, but I don't want no part of it.
If you cool, that nigga, he might walk up to you ready to.
What's good?
See now. Okay, then I'm like, oh.
Then you should already know the energy there, because if y'all niggas done fell out and you know this is the
I gotta verbally.
Then that's when you play the.
I mean, that's you.
I'm gonna be like, yo, that's what I'm saying. I gotta be like, yo, I gotta report with you. You stole from my man. And then they go from there. But I can't.
I can sit there and have that conversation with him. I can let him know. I can let him know why I'm not fucking with him.
Yeah, I can let him know. I'll let you know. That's how I feel.
I'll do that for you. But
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But you know, sometimes it depends. Like how close to home is it? If it's too close, I might just be like, I might hit the button.
The close to home part is what makes sense. Like, if y'all ain't the niggas that I see anywhere, we're just gonna count the weekends. We're gonna say,
nigga, if your friendship don't hold no value,
4 to 10 times a month, I don't see you on the regular. We ain't group chat talking. Then outside of that, them niggas, it really don't matter.
If your friendship holds no value to me,
what if that nigga, right, done like, was always a stand-up nigga. Y'all not the closest, but he's always to the point where like you needed to borrow money before you, and then he was there. He looked out for you. Your car broke down.
So that's a real. So now we changing it though.
No, you're not close.
That's a real friend. No, that's a close friend. I'm never in like as not a close friend for some money.
That's why I changed the example. Cool. Your car broke. Your bike broke down the middle of the road, and he picked you up, and he went out his way. He's always been out. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Now you believe your friend. You believe your close friend. You still Yeah, I mean, I guess that's.
I'm going, like I said, like I already said.
I gotta make sure.
Like I already said.
You ain't lying to me, close
So look, like I told him,
I got
I already
I got a
said.
scenario for you that's off.
But
off
no.
air,
So look, like I already said.
It never happened to me in real life.
Wait,
It's
so
always
like,
been
bro,
close friends that fell out.
Bruh, like I already
It's
said.
never been.
I didn't say that it's just 100% hell no for me. I said,
You gotta make sure first.
I'm gonna tell him, hey, look, this is my partner. This is my closest partner. He say it's up. So what I'm just telling you is I gotta ride with my partner. Y'all niggas should work it out. He's saying what he said. I can only respect what he's saying, bro. I'm just saying, like, I can't really fuck with you like that because that's my partner. That's my day one. And I value his friendship, maybe even more than yours. Y'all gotta talk.
The only way I
Talk
get,
it out.
the only way I get in the middle.
I understand we could talk about off air, so let me get.
Never mind.
Let me get to this last one real quick. Facts or cap? Should a girlfriend move like a wife before the ring? Should a girlfriend move like a wife before the ring?
So I guess
interpret that however you want.
So it has to be facts or cap. So I'm gonna say facts just because it's closer to facts. So I'm not with the old school ways of you know, you never live together, you don't fuck her, and then you get, that's the gift, like with your wedding, like all that.
Okay, move in, fuck.
Me, I need to know how you move, how you live, how everything is. I ain't necessarily saying you need to do certain things like my wife 24/7. I'm not saying that. But it's kind of like a trial. Like as a man, I look at it like this, right? I'm not going, like if me and her live together, I want her to see how I move, how responsible I am, how I manage things, how I do this, how I do that before she's with me. I ain't necessarily like certain people, it depends. Certain people have heavy like requirements for their wife. So I'm not gonna, like, if I'm not gonna be like, oh, that means you need to do everything a wife does. I'm not saying that. But I need to know, feel comfortable enough to know that when it comes to time for me to marry you, that I already am secure with everything, like how you live. Like I know that you're the person for me.
So let me.
Can I?
Go ahead, my bad.
My whole point is, and the reason why I say it's facts. Your girlfriend, leading up to her becoming your wife, should already be doing, for you to get down on one knee to say, I want you to marry me, shit shouldn't change after you get married. So everything you was doing before, it should stay the same.
So you're 100%
so I feel like, yeah,
for the most part.
Because I feel like, I mean,
what you mean things shouldn't change?
No, I'm saying like there are certain things that
She should already be acting like a wife.
There are certain expectations you may think.
What do you define as acting like a wife?
I mean, I feel like being together, if y'all get to the point to where y'all even considering marriage, like that step, like let's say the day I propose to you, I don't think that your expectations should change too much more from let's say you proposed on the 26th to y'all get married the next month on the 26th. Like everything pretty much in a sense y'all should already have y'all roles in place. Y'all should know what y'all doing. Like if we're at that point to where I'm even thinking about marrying you, I don't think like when we get married, your whole role should change and now I expect you to do this, and this.
Yeah.
That's basically kind of what I'm saying. Like,
I agree with Brandon.
like I'm saying, that's kind of like what I said. Like everything that you done, like that you're doing, should lead up to me knowing it.
Yeah. Like I agree 100%. This shit ain't the 60s. You should definitely, in my eyes, you should definitely live with somebody before you get married.
I agree.
Because you don't know a person till you live with them.
That's a fact.
So I would say it's facts, but for me it's facts. I don't think it works for everybody, but I do think like so. Part of this question was derived from some girl was saying like y'all girlfriends are be playing these wife roles. Y'all change y'all schedule to fit for your boyfriend. You fixing this place for dinner. You're doing everything. If he calls you and you're going to your 401k to help. Like you're doing anything you would do as a wife, right? So like all that applies. Not just what was the first thing you said? First two things examples was the wife do. I forgot what you said, but it's everything. I put it as acting like a wife because a wife is a partner, is legally bounded, and is doing it as as an obligation, not out of love,
So,
not out of want to. You're doing it because you're obligated.
This is what I say. This is what I say.
I think is the difference. Hold on, there's a difference between a wife and a girlfriend. A girlfriend, the obligation's smaller because there's no legally bound. There's no, you can just break up if you want to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to do this. I'm doing this because I want to. I'm a girlfriend. As a wife, I feel you have to. So I have no problem with a girl saying, if you ain't put a ring on it, don't expect me to act to
That's a fact.
to do that. But me personally, I'll be like, nah, I need you before I'm getting on my knee to put a ring on it. You need to already be there. Like maybe the first 2 months we not like that, but by the time we about to get married, you need to be going head over heels.
So time out. So for the examples that you just was talking about, those examples sound like the nigga is more the problem than the woman. It sounds like the nigga.
Man, nigga sometimes in a fucking situation.
But what I'm saying is, me personally, right? So I'm in a relationship where marriage is sooner than later, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be married sooner than later, right? Mm-hmm. So me personally, it's certain things where I'm not gonna ask my girl to do if she's not my wife. So like when you talking about like taking money out your 401k, this, that, and the third, me just personally, I'm not gonna feel comfortable doing that because I haven't already made the ultimate commitment. Yeah. But there are things that way I know for a fact if I was married that I would feel comfortable asking my girl.
So there's a level.
So yeah, it's kind of like you gotta know your position as well as she know hers.
Or let's say you get a job, good figure, but you gotta move, and she's as a girlfriend, she's willing.
Yeah, if you're my long-term girlfriend and we're working towards marriage, I would expect it. I would expect
to drop everything.
To ask you that, and for me to feel like that's something that you can do.
And some girls,
but I also
you shouldn't ask me to do something like that.
But I also feel like if she was in a good situation and she couldn't do it, that if I didn't leave, that we would figure something out. Like say the company's moving to California.
Yeah.
And my girl got a good position here. She don't want to go.
Yeah. If that's your
then I would tell her that.
What's the difference? How different?
If we're working towards the ultimate commitment anyway, then I would be like, look, if I stay, I might need your help for a while until I can get back on my feet. But if we go to LA and you got to leave your job, I'm gonna take care of what I need. Let's figure this out.
To me, that's a deal breaker.
That's a marriage. That's marriage.
If you can't make that decision as a married couple, then y'all shouldn't be in a relationship. Like that could be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
You could be like, well, we could try long distance, but that's one where if you're working towards marriage, I'd be like, I trust you. We're gonna move like we're married.
I agree.
Right now, that's kind of like a leap of faith. Because we go to California, you meet Becky with the good hair, no homo. And
I'm gonna put it like this.
You know what I'm
Me
saying?
and my girl both don't even really fuck with that long distance shit. So we either staying wherever we staying. Somebody just gonna not have a job.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. So if y'all were married, y'all moving together. Like y'all gotta make that decision together. But at the end result, whether you move with the job or you don't, you're gonna be together. As a girlfriend and boyfriend, it might not be that way. As a boyfriend, you might be like, I can't leave this job, girl, you better come, or
yeah, it just depends on the levels of y'all relationship.
So
you know what I'm saying? It just depends on the level of y'all relationship. That's really what it is. If y'all been together a year, I wouldn't advise y'all.
let me ask you this question, Brandon, before we wrap it up. So in that scenario, as a girlfriend, if you get a good job and you gotta move across the state, or just move somewhere where she can't go to work there. Let's forget the same thing, but you gotta move to down South Georgia or North Georgia or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Her as a wife, y'all would make that decision together, and she would move with you. Like y'all would still be together. As a girlfriend, do you expect that girl to make the same decision as a wife without a ring, without the commitment as a ring? Because you said 100%, and let's say you was planning on proposing that same year, but now you didn't do it yet. You didn't buy the ring yet. You were just starting to plan on the proposal. She's doing everything else, but she don't feel comfortable making that kind of commitment, leaving everything she got without a ring.
Honestly, this would be the same whether we were married or we're in that about to be engaged. Like we would have to have a conversation, hear both sides, and see which one best works for us. Now, if I see that you're just thinking about yourself in this, I dodged the bullet. because maybe we didn't need to get married because you would have made the same decision if we was married.
But what if she said she wouldn't? What if she said she was married? She would know that I got that commitment. Now you say you're entitled to believe that way. What if she says during y'all debate, during y'all conversation, I should say, she says, you know, I'm thinking about this and that. You know, if we were married though, it would just be easy.
And I would say, look, honestly, the ring in the drawer right now, I already planned on engaging to you. I wanted to make it special. But if this right here, you need this commitment from me today, boom, grab the ring, propose it. Yeah. So what you want to do?
Okay. So you'd be willing to jump it.
I'll jump it. But that right there is going to show me, like, what makes more sense for us. Because if you could be selfish,
we out, baby. Blow.
Facts and caps are finna go up, nigga. On the south side with my dog. Okay. I'm on la ciencia. Of course. You tryna move forward. Forward. Push. He said, she said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said, wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we gon' back to back, and nigga, all be cap if we ain't got the facts. I mean, he said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said, wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we gon' back to back, and nigga, all be cap if we ain't got the facts. I mean, I'm in a sword. Come get your nigga, man, come get your boy. He like to jump to conclusion, he dumb to illusion. He stupid, the goofy little boy. Bro on his feelings and she on a horse. I'm a finagle, the beggar like horse. None of you niggas is trying to move forward. I'm done to hop off a Porsche, so hop in the Porsche when I'm back. Yeah, add it up and you ain't getting no break and you're bad enough. You got time for the drama, but you're bagging up. We drunk in the club, acting up on your bitch. Is what it is. Promise to be about the money, don't like it to dip. Young nigga coming like this. Promise this shit is a movie, I hate, I don't miss. He said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said, wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we gon' back to back, and nigga, all be cap if we ain't got the facts. I mean, he said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said, wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we gon' back to back, and nigga, all be cap if we ain't got the facts. I mean, watch how they watching me. Niggas was holding they last slab, but up here said they couldn't do none of me. Same ones handing out hashtags, but they couldn't even put a gun on me. All of these niggas is sons of me. I'm the original, you just the wannabe. I'm who you wanna be, better let go. Yippee-ki-yay, press subscribe and hit the fucking link in my bio. If you really about it, you can slide, bro. If you really about the drama, you can slide, bro. Ayy, petty pussy nigga on a psycho, ayy. Could've murked a nigga on sight, though, ayy. Could've had a sucking low lipo, ayy. None of you niggas could fuck with me. He said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said, wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we gon' back to back, and nigga, all be cap if we ain't got the facts. I mean, he said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said, wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we gon' back to back, and nigga, all be cap if we ain't got the facts. I mean.